This is more or less part 2 of yesterday's lesson. Yesterday's lesson is how God measures. This is how God measures in church. A short note about yesterday's gospel. The gospel was offered in 2 versions. The short version, Luke 2:22-32, which stops where you see the star in the margins. And the gospel which I always read, the full gospel, Luke 2:22-40, which gives the full information on Simeon, the conversation between Simeon and the parents, the priestess Anna, and the travelling home and his growing up. These last 8 verses are vitally important in my view, because they include Simeon's conversation with the Blessed Virgin. They include Anna. Anna is left out completely if you use the shortened version. Leaving these pieces out for brevity's sake or to make a time reduces the teaching moment of the gospel, but also the religious impact and its might. I don't ever recommend using the shortened version of any scripture, even though it's allowed, because a shortened version shortens the value of the teaching, shortens the value of the lesson that the Lord is trying to give to you. As I quote from the Holy Father lesson, don't put ritualism or formalism ahead of religion in your prayers or your practice. In other words, don't just be going through the motions or making up time when you're saying prayers. He knows. There are many times when I've stopped midway through, removed whatever it was, the distraction, even if it was so simple as needing to go to the toilet, and I've started over, for I had not given the one I love most in my life my greatest and fullest attention. He gives us his full attention. Return the courtesy. Turn off your phones in church, not just silencing them, turn them off. Every time. Put your mind on the words you're speaking, rather than seeing if you can say them faster than the fellow next to you. And focus for those minutes while you are personally saying a prayer, which includes singing a song. And focus on the prayers that are being spoken. For instance, the Eucharistic prayers, which is the best time that everyone spaces out. Don't cheat or shortchange God, ever. Think on the lesson of yesterday, February 2nd, titled, How the Lord Measures. He measures the quality of the process, the purity of the thought, the purity of your heart, and the cleanliness of your mind, heart, and soul as you pray to Him, and as you pray with the congregation to Him. You can't pray with your lips, while in the back of your mind, behind your eyes, you are thinking about planning your weekly meals, doing the schedule of who needs to be driven where and when, and so who will need to do what, when, to whom. Determining if the client's value-added proposition should equal a lower hourly fee. Does the rate you are charging at X meet the use of the cost of materials, or was it underbid? And what was Bobby doing making out with Carly last night? He must have been so drunk. None of this is appropriate, but it's done during service and Mass. Don't you do it anymore. When you find yourself wool gathering, stop yourself, refocus. This is your time with God. Focus. Every time. Focus. You love Him. Show Him your love by giving Him your attention. You wouldn't space out like this on a date. God is your date for that hour.